Think back to every film that promises finding the one will solve your problems. Then remember how real life still hands you bills to pay and dishes to wash. Research shows that getting into a healthy relationship does lift people's mood, but only up to the point where they settle back to their usual emotional set point. In other words, marriage can nudge happiness, yet it does not keep anyone on a permanent high. Love is not a cure-all, it is a skill. Like learning to cook or manage money, it demands steady practice rather than faith in a perfect match. Expect bumps, then decide whether the bumps are ones you and your partner can handle together. Brain chemistry blurs judgment. Early attraction floods the brain with dopamine, sharpening focus on a partner's good traits while hiding the rough edges. Daily habits beat grand gestures. Sharing chores, planning meals, and agreeing on a budget do more for long-term satisfaction than any anniversary trip. Even sleep tells a story. Couples who feel secure tend to drift into similar sleep rhythms. Poor rest, in contrast, chips away at patience and clear communication. Concrete steps keep expectations realistic. State needs out loud. If you prefer a quiet Sunday morning, say so, instead of hoping your partner guesses. Schedule check-ins. 10 minutes each week to review money worries or household tasks prevents hidden resentment. Use time as a filter. Give new feelings room to cool before big decisions. What still makes sense after a month is more likely to last. Mind the basics. Sleep, exercise, and balanced meals make it easier to be kind and to hear criticism without exploding. Romantic love can't promise endless joy, but practiced with clear eyes and steady effort, it can offer teamwork, shared wins, and a buffer against life's routine stresses. Treat it like any skill worth having. Real work, real rewards, no fairy dust required. Most people assume that arguing means a relationship is failing. But surprisingly, couples who never argue may actually be avoiding problems instead of solving them. The key difference isn't whether conflict happens, it's how you handle it. How you fight matters more than how often. Using sarcasm, stonewalling, or bringing up old issues signals poor repair skills, not deeper love problems. Repair attempts predict success. A joke, a pause to cool off, or even a simple, "let's try again," can break the spiral of a heated argument and steer it back toward resolution. Mismatch in communication styles causes confusion. One partner might want space while the other needs reassurance. Learning each other's patterns helps avoid unnecessary tension. Name the issue, not the person. Say, "I feel left out when you scroll during dinner," instead of "you're always on your phone." Set rules for tough talks. Agree to pause after 20 minutes if things escalate. Brain chemistry needs time to settle. Debrief, don't just move on. After an argument, check in. What worked? What didn't? That builds future tools. You don't need to like all the same movies or hobbies to thrive as a couple. What matters more is agreeing on what you're building together, whether that's financial stability, personal growth, or raising a family. You don't need to match strokes exactly, but you do need to row in the same direction. What does a good life look like to you in 5 years? How do we handle setbacks or changes in plans? What do we want our days to feel like? Calm, exciting, structured. These conversations give a relationship purpose and direction, reducing friction over time. We all carry emotional habits from early life, especially in how we handle closeness and conflict. These patterns, known as attachment styles, aren't fixed, but they do explain why some people pull away when upset while others cling tighter. Avoidant partners may need space during stress, not because they don't care, but because they're used to handling things alone. Anxious partners may crave reassurance, not to be needy, but because uncertainty feels unsafe. Secure partners balance autonomy and connection, and this can be learned over time. Understanding your own style and your partner's helps reduce confusion and personalize your approach to closeness and communication. Say what you're feeling, even if it's uncomfortable. Example: "I need a minute to think, but I'm not walking away from you." Revisit patterns after the moment passes. Identify triggers, not just who was right or wrong. Practice secure habits, like showing up on time, following through on promises, and apologizing when needed. Consistency builds safety. Many long-term relationships hit a point where things feel dull or repetitive. This doesn't mean the love is gone. Often it just means life has settled into a routine that needs refreshing. Novelty and growth don't always happen on their own. You have to schedule them. Do something unfamiliar together. Take a class, visit a new place, or even swap daily roles. Cooking, planning a weekend. Review your why. Revisit what first drew you to each other. What strengths have you built since? Create micro-adventures. A walk somewhere new, a small surprise, or a midweek breakfast date can reset connection. Boredom isn't a sign to leave. It's a reminder to re-engage. In many relationships, one person ends up managing the emotional to-do list, remembering birthdays, checking in after a hard day, calming tensions during family events. This work matters, but it often goes unnoticed. Uneven emotional labor leads to burnout. If one partner always smooths conflict or manages feelings, resentment builds. This imbalance isn't always intentional. Often it reflects habits from childhood or early roles in past relationships. Talking about it makes it visible. Many people aren't even aware they're carrying or avoiding this work. Make the invisible visible. List non-physical tasks you each manage. Then talk about redistributing them. Swap roles regularly. Let both partners take turns managing the check-in moments or family logistics. Appreciate effort, not just outcomes. Acknowledge emotional work the same way you would a physical chore. In healthy relationships, agreement isn't always possible. But respect, the ability to hear each other out without judgment, keeps the connection strong even when views differ. Disagreement isn't a threat. Disrespect is. Dismissive responses, interruptions, and eye-rolling corrode connection more than differing opinions. Validation isn't the same as agreeing. Saying, "I get why you'd feel that way," doesn't mean you're giving in. Tone sets the temperature. How you speak matters as much as what you say. Say, "Help me understand how you're seeing this," instead of jumping to counterpoints. Use pauses and paraphrasing to show you're listening. End tense talks with appreciation. "Thanks for talking this through with me." Even if you don't reach full agreement, it reinforces connection. It's easy to focus on big moments, birthdays, vacations, anniversaries. But over time, it's the small, shared routines that keep couples feeling close and secure. Predictability builds trust. Knowing how your day starts and ends together creates a rhythm that reduces stress. Micro-interactions matter. A quick goodbye kiss, checking in after work, or watching a weekly show together all act as emotional glue. Routines lower the mental load. When certain tasks or times are consistent, both people can focus more on each other and less on logistics. Start a daily ritual. It could be a 5-minute morning chat or cooking dinner together a few nights a week. Protect transition times. Mornings, meal times, and bedtime are great for reconnecting. Avoid phones or multitasking then. Mark the week. Have one small habit that makes Wednesdays or Sundays feel special. It builds shared meaning. People often worry about being selfish if they set boundaries or prioritize alone time. But the truth is, maintaining your identity is key to staying connected in a healthy way. Losing your sense of self breeds resentment. Over-accommodation leads to feeling unseen or drained. Self-worth shapes communication. People with solid boundaries are more likely to speak clearly and less likely to explode under pressure. Independence boosts attraction. Having your own interests and goals keeps the relationship dynamic and balanced. Keep up with a hobby or goal that's yours alone. Say no without over-explaining when you need rest or space. Let your partner support you without expecting them to meet every need. Real love isn't about constant closeness or perfect compatibility. It's about showing up with curiosity, flexibility, and a steady effort to grow together. Relationships work better when both people can stand alone and choose to stand together, day after day. Many couples fear they're growing apart when one partner changes jobs, habits, or personal goals. But personal growth doesn't have to mean disconnection if both people stay willing to adapt. Growth comes in waves. One person might evolve faster for a while. That doesn't mean the other is stuck. The relationship can stretch if you talk about it. Unspoken changes create distance. Named changes open dialogue. Support means curiosity, not control. Ask what the change means to your partner, not how to stop or fix it. Check in about personal goals. Don't assume your partner knows what's changing for you. Say it clearly. Update your shared vision. If one person shifts career paths or life goals, revisit what the future looks like together. Celebrate change. Growth often feels lonely. Remind each other it's okay to evolve and still be committed. No relationship avoids mistakes. What matters most is how you recover. The ability to make amends and rebuild trust is a better predictor of lasting connection than getting everything right the first time. Apologies need action. Sorry means little if it's not backed by changed behavior. Timing matters. Right after a conflict, emotions may still be high. Wait until both people are ready to talk. Small repairs matter too. You don't need dramatic gestures. A calm tone, a kind word, or owning a misstep goes a long way. Say, "I didn't handle that well. Can we try again?" Ask, "What do you need from me right now?" instead of assuming. Use body language. A soft touch, Eye contact or sitting near can reopen connection. The most successful couples aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who keep showing up, learning, adjusting, and choosing each other with intention. It's not about avoiding conflict, changing who you are, or reading every relationship book. It's about staying open, being real, and investing in the skills that build trust, respect, and shared purpose. A lot of people believe relationships succeed or fail based on chemistry or having the right traits in common. But research and real life show a different truth. Most lasting compatibility is the result of practice, not a perfect match. Core values matter more than shared tastes. You don't need to love the same music, but you do need to agree on how to handle money, family, or conflict. Compromise isn't failure. It's partnership. Building a life together always requires trade-offs and flexibility. People change, and compatibility can grow. What doesn't work early on might become easier with effort. If the fundamentals are there, what do we each need to feel respected and supported? Where are we flexible, and where are we firm? How do we want to handle disagreements a year from now? Better or the same? No matter how stable or loving a relationship is, everyone has doubts now and then. Stress, life changes, or even boredom can trigger thoughts like, is this still right for me? This doesn't always signal a problem. It often reflects growth or self-reflection. Doubt doesn't mean doom. It's a chance to check in, not a sign you failed. Avoid making decisions in emotional storms. Wait until you're calm before acting on doubt. Use questions as openings, not accusations. What are we missing right now is more productive than, why do you always, once a month, ask each other, how are we doing? What's feeling strong? What's feeling off? Write down thoughts or questions before discussing. Clarity first, then conversation. The goal is growth, not perfection. Long-term relationships aren't steady because nothing goes wrong. They're steady because the people in them pay attention, show up when it's hard, and keep learning together. There's no finish line. No final level of we've made it, just regular, honest effort, and the reward of knowing you're both choosing this again and again. It's tempting to judge a relationship by the highs or lows, romantic getaways, or major fights. But research consistently shows that the day-to-day interactions, not the dramatic ones, are what make or break long-term connection. A quick check-in during the day shows you're thinking of each other. Saying thank you after a routine chore strengthens mutual appreciation. Greeting and parting with intention sets the emotional tone more than most people realize. These micro-moments build a kind of emotional bank account. When it's full, the relationship weathers stress more easily. When it's empty, even small annoyances feel overwhelming. Early in a relationship, it's natural to focus on how the other person makes you feel. Happy, excited, seen. But for love to last, the question has to evolve. What kind of life are we shaping together? What kind of teammate am I? Moves focus from me to we, encourages contribution over expectation, makes partnership a shared project, not a service. What habits are we creating? And are they helping or hurting us? How do we show up for each other when life is unglamorous? What kind of partnership do we want to model? For our kids, friends, or even ourselves? At the start, love feels effortless. Later, it becomes a series of conscious choices to listen, to grow, to repair, to forgive, to show up. The couples who thrive don't avoid hard things. They work through them with clarity, respect, and a shared purpose. That's not luck. That's skill. And it's within reach. One habit, one conversation, one kind moment at a time.